this is one of the hunts I've been looking forward to the most, but also have been losing the most sleep over. My Uncle Larry, who you've seen on past hunts, he has been dealing with serious health issues for the last 12 years. He has mantle cell lymphoma, very aggressive form of lymphoma, and he's really dealing with a lot of costs because of that. So he's got neuropathy in his feet so bad he really can't feel his feet anymore. Last year he was supposed to go on this hunt with Matthew, my son, same unit, same everything, but about a month before that his doctors were so worried about what the chemo had done to his heart that they said, you're not going elk hunting. I mean, Wyoming has this really cool program where if you can't make a hunt because of some certifiable health reason, you can apply to have the tag given to you the following year. So he went through all that paperwork, had his doctors fill it out and everything, and he was awarded the tag for this year. In April of this year, he had a heart attack. 2 weeks ago, he had what he calls a mini stroke. He had a serious stroke a few years ago. He's not going to talk about it. He's just one of those, everything's fine, and da-da-da. He's 73 years old. He's been dealing with this. And my greatest dream is to lead our efforts that culminate in Larry shooting an elk. We're going to be picking him up here in Casper, and we have 5 days to find him an elk.
Randy's my favorite nephew. I've been with Randy since he's been a baby, and as he's grown up, we cherished his friendship and his relationship with us, and he came down to Scottsdale, Arizona and worked for me when he was 15, 16 years old, and it was just so much fun being around him. He's always looking out for me, and you can't ask for much more than that.
Last time we stayed in a wall tent and you complained that the wind flapped on the tent all night.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd rent us a log cabin. So we're getting organized tonight and we're letting the blizzard pass. In the morning we're gonna get up and have coffee and donuts. And then we're gonna go kill an elk. All right, I'm gonna go get the rest of my stuff.
I'm gonna get my meat hauler in the bedroom there.
Okay, all right.
Here's to the party. May it be merry. What's in here now?
When Larry told me he was going to make this hunt, that regardless of his health conditions, he was going on this hunt, I asked him, you got to be honest with me, Larry, what are your restrictions? And he told me what they were, and they were significant. And I told him, well, we're going to go do it because I want to spend 5 days with you in Wyoming, no matter what. And I don't care what I have to do. I will hike every ridge in this unit, and we will find a group of elk somewhere that even with the restrictions your cardiologist, and mostly your wonderful wife, Mary, have put you on, we're gonna find an elk. So that's really what this hunt is. It's finding some elk in a location that, one, is on public land, two, is in a situation where Larry could make the stock, and three, hopefully in a situation where, with the wind and all the other things that Wyoming is known for, is it going to present us an opportunity to make a decent shot? One thing about these units in central Wyoming is where the elk go in a late season hunt that this is, it does not look like elk country. It looks more like antelope and mule deer country. But because this is a limited entry hunt, these elk aren't pressured a lot. So you're not gonna see them in the nasty, nasty places that you would see normally on a highly pressured general tag late season hunt.
Yeah, the first day of the hunt was just a learning experience for me. And Randy was knew the area fairly well, so we spotted. The first thing he did, he spotted 6 elk. One really nice one.
But they were right on a piece of private, right on the boundary between BLM and private, and we didn't have access on that private. They have a great big outfitting operation there, and you just don't even think about it. And I told Larry, I said, you know, unless those elk move to the east, let's just cross those off the list. So we spent the rest of the first day driving and glassing, and we weren't seeing much. And it got later in the day, and I told Larry, I said, you know, let's drive around to this other place. There's some sections of state and BLM that maybe we can get to them, maybe we can't. There's a road that goes in there. And we got right to this little corner of BLM, and we're standing there glassing, and we see lots and lots of elk. There's 34 bulls right there.
34 bulls?
Look in there.
Gee whiz.
It's the biggest herd of bulls I think I've ever seen. I thought it was cows and bulls. They're all bulls.
You can see they're moving.
That's a 6 point, that's a 6 point. But you know what? There's not a lunker in there.
Huh?
I don't see a lunker in there.
Yeah.
This group over here that has 7, there's 3 bulls in there that are bigger than any of these bulls over here. The downside is the road went across this boggy swamp area, and we'd probably get stuck, and when it's not completely frozen, you don't want to be out there rutting up these roads. We found where the elk are.
Okay.
And there's a reason why they're here.
Nobody's here.
You can't get in here.
Can't get in there.
So we're gonna walk up here to that corner where we can look in there with the spotter. Okay. I mean, it's flat, perfect. It's a field going over there. Would you shoot one of those two?
Yeah,
Larry?
I'm going to shoot either one, but I'd prefer the
left one of the two.
Yeah. Holy smokes!
Crazy, huh? Yeah, we saw a lot of elk. A lot of them were on property we couldn't get to, or on little checkerboard patches of BLM that we couldn't get to. And if you show up with the mindset that 2 out of 3 encounters you have with groups of elk are going to be off limits, you don't get frustrated by it. You know that, okay, 1 out of 3 or 1 out of 4, when that happens, that's going to be our chance. So we just stood there until it started getting dark, and I told Larry, I said, you know, we got to just take an inventory here and see how it goes and keep all of these elk in mind. And in the morning, we'll come back in here and see what's happening. The downside is we looked at the weather forecast. And even though on day 1 the wind was blowing 15 miles an hour, the forecast was the following day was 30 to 35. And the remaining days of the hunt were 30 to 40 mile an hour winds. And hunting in those type of winds, especially when the temperatures are in the single digits or the low teens, is pretty much, I'll call it insufferable. It is miserable. It's really, really hard to find a setup where you're going to be able to get in and get a shot. After looking at that weather forecast, I got to thinking, you know, if we end up taking an elk on this hunt, it's going to be a small miracle. So when we got up on the second morning, unfortunately, the weatherman was right. It was windy. And as we drove into this little town to get some gas, and I look at the thermometer on my truck and it says 7 degrees. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, 7 degrees. The high today is supposed to be 24, 25. But the winds are supposed to be 30 with gusts to 35. Whew. This is gonna see just how much we like elk hunting. And so we head out to the spot where we'd left all those elk the night before. So of our group of 9 that we found up there yesterday, this morning, Dale, with his sharp eyes, his perfect vision, said there's 5 of them up there. And there are. And I can see that a couple of them are part of what was up there yesterday. I recognize a few of these. And unfortunately, to get out of the wind, they'd moved to the east, and they're on a piece of property that is not open to hunting. And I told Larry, you know, you just stay here in the truck and try your best to stay warm, but I'm gonna go hike out on some of these ridges. And the very first ridge I hiked out to, when I peeked over the ledge, the wind was coming up out of that valley and hit me with all these ice crystals and snow. I'm like, oh, this is miserable. But my theory was you have to be glassing into the wind if the elk are on the other slopes away from the wind. Absolute misery. 10 degrees and a 30-mile-an-hour wind. I'm not sure what that equates to in wind chill, but a lot. We'll go try another spot. This wind is west-northwest, and I think we might want to go over to that and watch from the south, because all those south slopes will be out of the wind.
Okay.
And all these elk, a lot of these elk we saw yesterday just have to go over a little crest, and they're in the pockets on those south sides. So I told Larry, I said, you know, yesterday we saw that group of bulls that was right on the boundary of BLM and that other ranch. What do you say we drive around to that other side and let's just glass up in there and see, maybe they've moved to the east. In the very first place I put my binoculars, on this little bench that looks like a place elk would feed, there's a group of elk. Downside is they're really high up there.
How do we get them down here? How do we go about it?
I don't know. That's the hard part.
He's quite a ways away yet.
Well, Larry, there are 12 of them up there, but they're pretty far away.
Quite a ways away, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how we'd get to them, no idea.
No, they're all looking right down at us.
They've been looking at us for a half an hour.
Every time we've moved, we've found more elk. We're gonna jump in the truck, drive up to that gap in that rock wall.
Yeah.
You're gonna stay in the truck, and I'm gonna climb up another hill and get frostbite. The wind down there is just probably dead calm. If we find some down in there, it's kind of like fish in a barrel.
Duck soup.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll be right below you. I think it's windy. I also think if those bulls drop down much further, we could get Larry around this. That last bit of grade would be the hard sledding. The good news is, of those bulls, the lower 5 are feeding down and this way. That would be possible and doable. Yeah. It's not the temperature-wise, I think it's 22, 24 degrees, but the wind is just howling. Nothing in this basin right here. I'm gonna go back to the truck, drive down another mile, climb up and look in the next basin and see what we can find. Finally, we get way out there and we see another group of bulls. There's 16 of them, way up on this ridge, and they're on BLM, but it's a huge vertical climb. They're set up on this rock knob where they can see everything down below them. I don't know how we could have got up there, especially with the wind blowing the way it is. Eventually they tired of us messing around down below them, and they got up and they just started walking over the ridge in a place where who knows where they would have went to. We're back to just having to go check out that group of 12 and see where they're at and what they're doing. We drive all the way back down to that spot. Wouldn't you know, those bulls had stood up and most of them were feeding, and they were feeding downhill down into this little cut. We're gonna go kill an elk right now. Uncle Larry is gonna be employed into action. We got 12 bulls that are working their way this way. We got to get up there and go towards them, and we'll be facing right into the wind. 3 6 points in there for sure. So here's the deal.
Okay.
I'm carrying everything. You got your water and your binoculars. And your wife told me that if you start getting tired or feeling poorly, you better tell me. You ready?
I am ready.
I look back, I think Larry's gonna be dragging along behind me in ways. I look and he's right on my heels, just smiling.
You know, I was pretty darn cold going up that slope there, and it kept getting to be one more ridge and one more ridge.
Let's sneak up there and I'm gonna peek over. They're 440 right now. What I might try to do is go low and sneak across here and get up there. That'll cut 100 yards off it. Yeah, you don't want that one. He's got a broken beam on the passenger side.
He's a 6x6, right? Okay, we'll take him.
Yeah, they're all looking away, so if you get up to this rock,
Okay, I see him, yeah.
okay, just wait.
Okay, take him there.
See him? He's kind of down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Just breathe good. Try to shoot him. Try to shoot the far shoulder. He's looking. You see him looking towards us? Head down.
Down, yeah.
Yeah. He got all the time in the world.
Now?
Yeah. Shoot again.
Huh?
Hold on. Put one in. Just hold on. Oh, you hit the wrong one.
Oh, no. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. He's laying there dead.
That's what I thought.
Look, he's laying there on the hillside.
Oh, you gotta be me. Oh, I thought it was the second one you said with his head down.
Yeah, second one from
To
the
the
left
left.
with his head down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one I thought I hit.
No, you hit the
Third?
You made a great shot. You hit the fifth one from the left.
Oh, you got. You mean I was on the fifth one?
Yeah.
Oh, I had to go way more left to find
Yeah.
the other two. Oh.
You made a perfect shot. Look at him. He's laying there dead.
I know, I thought I seen him drop, but you said no, he ran away. Well, I know.
There's 11 of them running off, and there were 12.
God,
You smoked him, but you smoked the other one.
what a dingbat. Gee whiz, how could, I thought, see, I saw the first two and the one in the back was pretty big, and I said, you said he had his head down going down the hill.
Uh-huh.
And I saw that and I said, well, it's not that one, so his head's down and he's quartering away. And I said, but I didn't realize there were three more over here.
Yeah, there were three down lower. But you throttled him. You completely throttled him.
Hot damn, said the ram. I didn't see that U-turn. Huh? Oh, goodness sakes. Oh.
Way to go, Larry. You got enough.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, you made it.
Yeah, he made it down the hill, it looks like.
Huh?
Should we go check him out?
Yeah.
This is, I think, in a lot of ways for Larry, a defining moment that, you know what, in spite of all my health conditions, all the things I deal with, I can still get out and do this. Because there's so many people who have the desire still, but maybe they don't have the health.
With my conditions and my health, and being able to do that at 73 years old, I'm tickled pink. I'll tell you that. I'm ecstatic.
I told him, don't even bring a pack. I am carrying everything. I said, if you do shoot something, you are not doing anything other than we're gonna punch your tag, you're gonna take some pictures, and you're heading back to the truck. I don't want the temptation of you thinking you gotta help lift and pull and do this and carry something out. Finishing up Larry's elk, getting ready to haul out one front quarter, the back straps, tenderloin, and the head. Tomorrow we come back, we got 3 quarters left. We're going to finish game retrieval. You know, today we spent the morning packing Larry's elk out, me and Michael and Dale, and Larry he's never one to do anything more than his share. And I know it bothers him that we're doing this work, but for us, it's pleasure, Larry. To see the smile on your face, to hear the excitement in your voice, and just to be able to spend this time with you, you know how much fun we're having. Hopefully the lesson that people take from this hunt is that hunting at its core, the places where we build the memories, the times when the relationship gets even tighter, are the times when we go and do it with people who are special to us. That is the essence of why I hunt. I have a lot of special people in my life, but Larry is one of those handful that I don't care what it is, what he needed, anything I could do for him, I would do. And the same goes the other direction.
I don't know how you could have more fun than this, and I can't express to Randy how thrilled I am to have been a part of this.
Hunting can be that place where you can have these moments and build these memories. There's nothing I'm gonna do in the next year that is gonna come close to putting the smile on my face the way it did spending these days with Larry here in Wyoming. Mr. Larry Stickler standing right there. Standing tall and looking good. He had to be in Hollywood. You know, Larry, last time we were filming you in 2010, the camera guys pulled me aside and said, that guy stops in the middle of every sentence. You got to tell him he has to finish the sentence. I said, well, that's because he's getting ready to swear. And Mary told him he can't swear, so he stopped.
I'll try to refrain a little bit.
You own the traveling profanity trophy, you know that.
Okay, yeah, I do. Okay.
Yeah, that's all my stuff.
Here, my up there.
We may have diagnosed the audio problem. We thought it was your heart monitor. It was because you had your...
I'm glad it wasn't that thing. Who knows what the...
Well, when you see this big bull here, you might go into AFib.
You know, I haven't been in AFib since I put the thing in there. I'm so mad they put it in there that, you know, it's all because he's too small for me. I'm not going to shoot a little like that. Well, everybody knows that, for sakes. What the am I looking for? Oh, I'm sorry. Here we something up here. I'm not going to run up the you're going to...
They're all bulls.
Holy yeah. Holy there got to be a big in there. This is... Oh, give me that. I'm... Holy of all the time. Yeah, I don't need this if you guys send me pictures, right?
Yeah.
I'm not taking a chance on that.
Oh, you hit the wrong one.
Oh, no. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. He's laying there dead.
Oh, you gotta be me. Oh, me. He's probably a raghorn. Oh, give me a break.
We'll see him over there?
Oh, I had it right on his. I can't believe I shot the wrong one.
I don't want to hear any out of you.